Hi. Okay, project for today is going to be a little landscaping work outside. So we're going to be outside in the sun a little bit. What I'm going to do is put in some drainage pipes. These are for the downspouts from the gutters. So if you take a look here, here's a good example. This is one I've done already. So instead of coming down to a splash block, you see this thing is hooked to a corrugated pipe. It goes underground and then it comes up in a pop-up emitter in just a little while. So probably gonna do 2 of these today. There's one right here that you can see now is currently just a splash block that I'm gonna want to fix and redo, and then probably gonna do another one over here too, that over here, because I got enough stuff to do 2 of these today. So this one's kind of in a corner. So this one's also another just downspout running onto a splash block. These things don't work that good. They spread out the water just a little bit and they keep it from eroding right there on the spot, but they're not as good as channeling the water away from the house. So if you read that the pros pretty much recommend that you don't use those splash blocks, that you put pipes on and get the water channeled away from your house. So so some of the stuff we're going to be using today, got this is an adapter fitting to go from the downspout metal fitting to the round corrugated pipe. This is a 90-degree elbow for the pipe. This is a pop-up emitter. So this is what you bury in the ground at the end of the pipe. The way this thing works is as it fills up with water, this thing here kind of just comes up, relieves the water pressure. This is just an adapter to hook from the pipe onto the little pop-up emitter. Fancy tools today are going to be a hacksaw, and then the other bigger tool that we're going to use is this thing. So I didn't allude to this earlier, but this is going to involve some digging and trenching. So for the most part, this is one of those projects that is really just an excuse for me to play on my tractor. So of all the tools, equipment, and toys that I own, this thing is by far the most fun to play with. So, all right, let's get going. Okay, so here we go. I've removed the splash block, and I'm just going to take this little fitting off the end. This piece is it's just screwed on. There's a couple of screws right here. So as I've said many times, never use a hand tool for something that a power tool can do for you, right? So I'm going to keep these little screws because they're just the little screws that you spin in and they kind of bore their own hole. And I'm going to use those to attach the plastic adapter fitting. So this part you can pretty much throw away because you're not going to use it anymore. So for this one over here, this is the second one I'm doing. So here's the screw that holds this bottom piece on, but there's another one that I can feel right back here, which obviously is going to be hard to get to. So my plan here is this is a little piece that they've mounted to hold it up against the wall where it is. So I'm going to take these 2 screws out, spread this thing so I can get to that back screw. So that was so here it is loose. So that was fairly uneventful. This thing is so long that it can just flex and it not really hurt anything. It's attached up there higher, but now I can get in there with the drill and get that out. So and remove this bottom piece like I did over there on the other side. Okay, I'm gonna leave this loose because I need to attach my fitting onto it and the hose before I reattach it. Okay, as far as how long to make the trench, it depends on the slope of the ground. In this case, I wanted the elbow to be below ground up by the house, so the trench had to be long enough to give a downward slope of the pipe. This is a piece of mason string with a line level. I've got the string tied to a stake up there by the elbow, where it's close to the house, and it's even with the top of the pipe. So right here is where the emitter would sit. So I'll take a measurement here. The first measurement here is 4 inches on the measuring tape. And then when the bubble's level, it measures about 16 inches. So that's a drop of about 12 inches from the house to the location of the emitter. So this is how I determine how long to make the trench. I checked this one already once, and the trench wasn't long enough, so I dug it a little longer. So here's the trench. I was just down there measuring the pop-up emitter at its ground level, and here's the elbow I was talking about. So I just placed the elbow like I want it to be down below the ground, so or flush with the ground there at the top. So that's why I dug it this deep up here, and then you can see I've got a stake in the ground, a metal rod, and that's what I attach my string to. Now once I pulled that string tight, I noticed some high spots in the trench, which I had to fix the old-fashioned way with Armstrong power, using a shovel and a pick, which sucked. But you know, last time I did this, I dug the trench too deep with the tractor, so I was trying to avoid that and didn't go deep enough in a few spots. Okay, what I've done now is I've set the pipe down in there where it's going to be, and have it connected on both ends. And I'm just doing another check with the string. So I did a check with the string on the full length, and it was good. Had the 1 foot drop that we showed earlier, but it looked like there were some high spots. So what I'm doing is, it looks like there's a high spot here. So I'm just gonna, again, that's level with the top of the pipe up there. I'm just checking it in some sections, and making sure that there is a drop even in these small sections, and there is. So even this spot, which looked a little high on the string when it was pulled to full length, it is a fall. It's not a perfectly linear bottom of this trench, but that's okay. I don't intend to get down there with the pick and fix it manually. Okay, so the next step is going to be to attach our pipe here. So you see that I'm still missing a piece there, so I'm going to measure that and cut a piece of pipe and put it in there. So I got this adapter in place, got the tape measure stuck down into the point where the pipe would go, and measure to the point where it would go up here. It's right at 14 and a half, maybe just a hair under that, 14 3/8, but that's our measurement. So I was going to show you this because it seems like cutting this stuff, there could be a trick to it, at least with a hacksaw, and maybe this isn't the best way to cut it. I never claimed to be a professional. So 14 and a half, that actually puts us right in that little gap there. So I always cut it at the low spot. I'm just going to show you how to do it. So just cut it like normal to get it started. So once you broke through, I just kind of roll the pipe. That way I can control the cut edge right up against the edge here, which is going to show once it's put together. So you see, this isn't like normal hacking through something. I'm kind of going around the edges, which is a little different than normal, but it gives a nice clean edge there. Okay, just look at the finished product. See the pipe goes underground. Here's our where the trench was, and all the way down here to the pop-up emitter. So I kind of placed the chunks of grass back over it, so it really does not look that bad. I'll seed it again at the end of the fall. So although the tractor is great for digging the trench, you got to fill it back in by hand, and that was actually more work than I thought it was going to be. So I actually did 2 of them. I did this one over here too. So same thing. Again, I just laid the chunks of grass in on top of it, all the way down here to the emitter. I'm probably a little sweatier than I was earlier too when I first started this video, because yeah, like I said, it ended up being a lot of work, but it turned out really good. It's done. So that's 2 more of them I have. There's actually about I guess 2 more or 3 more that I need to do eventually, so I'll be doing those. But that's it for this video. Thanks.